News now on the TV app, available for iOS and Android.
Now at 6, a case concerning a brain-eating amoeba leads investigators to examine the waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Plus, crews investigate the cause behind a fatal fire today in Webb City. And
AAA wants all locals to follow all traffic laws as schools are getting back in session. I'm Lonnie Walton in Joplin. I'll have that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A late-breaking story. Joplin police call on the SWAT team to respond to a situation at a home. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The incident began earlier this afternoon in the Easttown neighborhood near High Avenue and Furnace Street, still underway at last report. Police had initiated a contain and call out using a bullhorn directed at an individual inside the house. Joplin SWAT arrived shortly after 3 p.m. Inside, they say a male entered the residence. It was someone that was known to the residents. They also say he was armed. He was asked to leave and he refused. The residents exited the home safely. Officers arrived quickly, beginning that standoff. Joplin police say he's considered armed and dangerous and people should avoid the area. We will have more for you tonight at 10. A warning from Missouri public health officials. A resident has contracted an infection from what's commonly called the brain-eating amoeba. Now, investigators are trying to determine if it's linked to the Lake of the Ozarks. Authorities say while it's not confirmed, preliminary information implies that the patient might have been water skiing at the Lake of the Ozarks prior to becoming ill. The amoeba is common and naturally present in warm, fresh water, such as lakes, rivers, and ponds. However, the infection is very rare, typically affecting fewer than 10 people a year in the U.S. The Missouri patient is an adult and is currently in intensive care. Health officials say the infection cannot be spread by swallowing contaminated water. Instead, the amoeba travels up the nose and to the brain. People can reduce the risk of infection by avoiding stirring up sediment while in shallow, warm, freshwater areas. The symptoms include fever, nausea, vomiting, stiff neck, and seizures. Also an altered mental status and hallucinations. The disease progresses rapidly, so anyone experiencing the symptoms after swimming in a warm body of water should seek medical help immediately. Look for more information on KOAMnewsnow.com. Authorities are investigating the cause of a trailer fire which took the life of a man in Webb City. Happened around 5 this morning in the 4400 block of North Center Lane. Crews found smoke and flames pouring out of the home. One man, 60-year-old George McDonald, was unresponsive and taken to an area hospital. McDonald later died from his injuries. 2 other people also suffered from smoke inhalation and minor burns. Authorities in Joplin responded to a serious crash this morning on West Zora. That crash took place around 9 a.m. Both drivers were taken to area hospitals along with one child. One driver was rushed priority after being trapped within the car for an extended period of time. Still a developing story. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com for more information as it becomes available. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
And it turned out to be a pretty good Wednesday for us today. Temperatures kind of right about 90 to about 92, which is close to our average high for this time of the year. But it's going to start to heat back up as we go through the next few days. So we're talking mid to upper 90s, especially as we head into the weekend. Rain chances, at least some, on Monday and also Tuesday, and possibly with those rain chances, we could get a cold front and cool down a bit by the middle of next week. Looks pretty good right now. We have mostly clear skies through the evening hours. Pretty much clear skies. Still have a meteor shower going on once again for us tonight. By Thursday morning, we're sitting into the upper 60s. Partly sunny skies. High temps a little bit hotter, 94, 93, 95 degrees on Thursday. We're going to look toward the weekend here in just a bit.
See you soon. As the new school year kicks off, there are more than just buses back on the road. There are new teen drivers out there too. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, AAA is urging everyone behind the wheel to stay alert, especially near school zones and busy intersections.
Behind me is paying attention to the radio instead of my brake lights. end up impacting me.
Michael Higgins is a driver passing through Missouri. He says he was hit by a distracted driver who was looking down instead of looking up. These actions sent Higgins to the hospital.
That created what was my second neck surgery after that. So had to get plates, screws, put me back together.
Though Higgins was hit by a distracted driver back in the day, Nick Shabaria with AAA says hopefully that doesn't happen as students are returning back to school this year.
Putting your phones down, of course, we have the new hands-free law, and that applies throughout the state for drivers of all ages.
And if this student is a first-time driver, Shabaria says, guardians, you have some work to do.
Just going over that route can help ease some anxiety, and you can also point out, potential hazards along the way, busy roads.
And by all means, slow down, Shabaria says.
As we know, even just a 10-mile-per-hour difference from 25 to 35 increases someone's chances of dying in a crash by about 2/3.
And about those phones.
So don't look down on your phone. If you need a text, pull over.
Keep those phones down.
And the experts tell me it's very important to be fully aware of your surroundings. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Last year in Missouri, 106 people died in crashes involving distractions. Of those, 52% were someone other than the distracted driver. Pittsburgh Parks and Rec has a cool way for your four-legged friends to stay cool. We're going to take you live to the annual dog swim that's coming up, but up first.
Bike paths like these are often full of cyclists here in McDonald County, but that is raising concerns with the County Commission, who's hoping to have more oversight over large cycling events. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Make your hard-earned dollars go further during the Labor Day sale at Furniture Row. And free shipping. The Labor Day sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
McDonald County's natural beauty draws in visitors from all over. In recent years, cycling has become more and more popular in the area. But large events and races with hundreds of cyclists also bring some safety concerns. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what action the county is taking to keep both riders and residents safe.
With beautiful scenery, McDonald County is a popular place for cycling, something the county knows it could capitalize on.
All this is coming out of Northwest Arkansas, and it's a huge development, a huge boost to that community, so we'd like to maybe get in on some of that.
But large cycling events and races have brought up safety concerns as well. One race alone brought in not only more than 1,300 participants, but also a helicopter flying overhead. Presiding County Commissioner Brian Hall says officials were not informed anything was to take place.
Obviously, with 1,300 riders on our roads here in the county that are very curvy terrain, hilly terrain, it created a lot of safety concerns and a lot of issues for our residents of the county.
Surprise events like this are causing not only traffic issues, but also safety concerns, as first responders were unexpectedly spread thin. Law enforcement, like the McDonald County Sheriff and other community leaders, are now working with the commission to find a solution.
And met with the citizens and have taken steps to create an ordinance to oversee these bike races and to have some foresight and be able to provide security and traffic control for the races.
The planned ordinance will not only have organizers inform county officials ahead of large events, but will also have promoters pay overtime for law enforcement officers. This will allow for officers from surrounding communities to help provide coverage at intersections and more safety on the roads.
We are a small community. We have limited resources, and to be able to provide, say there's an emergency out there, to get first responders out there, we have to be able to get them through the roads. If we've got backup several miles long, that's going to create issues. So we want to be able to provide safety for the riders and participants in this race and for our citizens.
The commissioner says they're not against cycling here in McDonald County. In fact, they know it could provide a huge economic boost that they encourage, but they just want to make sure they have safety in mind.
We do also want to try to encourage future development growth, but we are looking at all those and trying to come up with a plan to make that happen for everybody involved.
Reporting in McDonald County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The commission says because there are several upcoming cycling races and events scheduled in McDonald County within the next few months, they're working to get an ordinance implemented within the coming weeks. A little later, as high school football season prepares to kick off, we're showcasing area teams. Tonight, Ryan takes a close look at the Nevada Tigers.
Plus, temperatures starting to heat up a little bit more next few days. We're going to look at that coming up.
Saturday.
Tonight's weather camera footage of downtown Joplin sits atop the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex, home of Connect-A-Culture and Spivus Center for the Arts.
Not a bad Wednesday for us today. We have partly sunny skies across the region. A few little showers, mainly to our south, but we have looked pretty good. And it looks like we're going to stay nice and calm as we go through the rest of the evening hours, and pretty much clear skies. So not too much going on if you are going to be out and about as we go through the evening hours. Let me walk you through time. So we're going to stop this at about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So hopefully before you get up. 68 in Stockton, 69 in Anderson, 69 in Coffeyville, 68 in Chanute. Quick warm up. We'll have a few clouds kind of dropping through, but by the noon hour, we're into the upper 80s. We're going to continue that trend through the afternoon. Once we get into the afternoon, I think most of us 93, 94, 95 degrees across the region. Overall, what you need to know about your Thursday is a nice start, hot finish, a little bit on the humid side, and we should stay dry across the area. Tomorrow night, we slip back only into the low to mid 70s, so a very warm start on Friday. Friday afternoon, a little bit of a southerly wind, kind of 5, 10 to 15, but look at our highs, 95, 96, 97 degrees across the area. Thursday, day planner, 70 to start, 91 by noon, high temp, 94 degrees during the afternoon. And outside looks pretty good across the region. Temperatures upper 80s to near 90 degrees. We're into lower 90s once you get into northeastern parts of Oklahoma, but our humidity still a little bit higher. Our dew points into lower 70s, so that makes it feel a little muggy outside. But as that temperature continues to increase, that mugginess is going to really establish itself by the weekend. Heat indices tomorrow afternoon, 95 to about 97. But by Friday, they pop back up 100 to about 103. So we get back to that we've been kind of used to over the past month. Let me show you why. Here comes a big dome of high pressure, moves in really right on top of us over the weekend. So it keeps really any rain rotating around us, but hot and humid. As we go through early next week, it starts to retreat or retrograde back toward the west, and this should allow a couple little waves to work in, hopefully a cold front. We're also going to be watching Hurricane Aaron, which should stay east of the eastern seaboard, but something we'll keep our eyes on. And then by late next week into the weekend, a little bit cooler air briefly will start to get into the region, just not this weekend. Look at this, 95 to about 98 on Saturday. Heading into Sunday, 96 to about 99 on Sunday. Think about 95 to 98 again on Monday. Slight chance for a few thunderstorms, but a front will try to slice in here Tuesday into Wednesday. If so, that will usher in some cooler air, not like cold, but cooler across the region, which would be nice to see. But again, it would be brief. So we may drop into the 80s for a couple days. 94 tomorrow, 97s. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then lower 90s, couple days of 80s, back into the 90s the following weekend. It's August.
Yeah, it is. And can't complain about 80s.
No, not at all.
August. Thanks, Doug. While we might be heading out of the dog days of summer, well, some swimmers might disagree. Do we have that live picture? We're trying to get you a live look from the 15th annual Dog Swim in Pittsburgh. The event encourages dog lovers to let the dogs out in the Pittsburgh Aquatic Center for a splashing good time. We don't have that image for you just yet, but we'll see if we can have that for you a little bit later in this broadcast. Still ahead, the Royals and Cardinals wrap up their series. Stay tuned to see how they fared. And high school football practices are ramping up across Missouri and Oklahoma. We're going to hear from the Nevada Tigers next.
So that's what happens when you trust the wrong dealership.
Center today to learn more.
Wood & Peterson, we're prepared to help injured clients and their families.
The Nevada Tigers have established themselves as a winning program with 5 consecutive winning seasons. And as the Tigers enter 2025, familiar faces will lead the way on both sides of the ball. Offensively, Nevada will stick to their roots on the ground with a strong run game that has become a focal point in recent years. the Tigers return a dangerous duo in the backfield to pair with their dual-threat quarterback.
We've been very successful running the football over the last couple of years. We've had 3 years in a row with an all-state running back. Will Jackson was first team all-conference and first team all-Southwest Missouri and third team all-state as a sophomore last year, had 1,400 yards rushing. John Michael Collins kind of had our eyes on him for quite a while. Very talented back when he was in middle school. He ended up with being our leading receiver out of the slot and also rushing 4,000 yards too. And he was all-conference first team and all-area first team. So we know what those guys bring to the table. And then when you mix in a young man like Kellen Braden who can run the ball kind of like a fullback mentality, and it can also throw it a little bit. That gives us the opportunity to throw the ball a little bit too off a run action.
Over the past few seasons, the linebacker position has been a strength for the Nevada defense, and this year won't be any different. The Tigers will rely on their linebackers to lead the way in 2025 with 3 returning starters from a year ago.
I just think, having a good linebacker group, that's a big part of our defense.
The Tigers are going to open their season on the road. They're going to face Monette on August 29th. Kickoff will be set for 7 p.m. Then we have the Royals and Cardinals. They highlighted the afternoon sports slate today as Kansas City wrapped up their series against the Nationals, with St. Louis battling the Rockies. KC looking to pick up the 3-game sweep of Washington, but falls short, dropping the finale 8-7. The Royals trailed 5-0 after the first inning, but mounted a comeback, scoring 7 of the game's next 9 runs. But a go-ahead single in the 9th inning fuels the Nationals to the win. Vinny Pasquantino hit his second home run in as many days and finished the game with 4 RBIs. Bobby Wood Jr. put together another multi-hit performance and collected a pair of RBIs as well. Kansas City has the day off tomorrow, and they'll welcome in the Chicago White Sox on Friday. As for the Cardinals, today's rubber match was for the series. And for the second time in the last month, the Rockies take a series from St. Louis with a 6-5 win today. Pedro Paez knocked in a pair of runs for the Redbirds. Then there's Alec Burleson, Mason Wynn, each clearing the yard with homers as well. But a Hunter Goodman go-ahead 2-run blast fueled Colorado to a second straight win. So far, rough day for the Royals and Cardinals, but still some opportunities this weekend. I know the Royals got Chicago White Sox, they're last their division. I believe the Cardinals got the Marlins. So there's opportunities to still get some wins this weekend.
Got to make up some ground. They are rapidly going to be coming to the final stretch in the season.
Very rapidly.
We'll be right back. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A Southwest Missouri police force steps up its efforts to keep drunk drivers off the road with its latest hire, a phlebotomist. Plus, strategies to help avoid stress and help families save on back-to-school tech, and tips for dealing with those pesky late summer allergies. Those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, it's an annual tradition and sign that students are heading back to the classroom in Columbus. This morning, the class of 2026 at Columbus High School completed their annual prank of filling the City Hall fountain with foam ahead of the first day of school, which was today. In a Facebook post, the Cherokee County Treasurer's Office said, quote, "The class of 2026 did not disappoint." This tradition that's gone back for a number of years at Columbus. I don't know what class began that.
Yeah.
But they take pride in it, I'm sure, seeing
yeah.
it being repeated year after year after year. The hot weather's going to repeat for a while.
It is. Temperatures actually heating up a little bit more. Let's go 94 on your Thursday. 97s heading into the weekend, also on the humid side.
Final sports note.
Royals and Cardinals lost today, but still have ground to make up and opportunities to do so. And the Royals have a great opportunity. 3 games against the White Sox, last in their division. Marlins, a team fighting in the NL wildcard. Cardinals could knock them out and pick up some wins this weekend as well.
Let's go Royals, man, Cardinals. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.